All that shit that I just said, that's 100% true. Also, I'm drunk. Fuck me. Listen here, motherfuckers. This is the story of Jet Set Radio Future. Tokyo. Takes place all in Tokyo. Tokyo's mayor, Rukaku Goji. He controls all of Tokyo. He actually, and I'm honestly not sure why he disagrees so much, but he disagrees with free expression. And basically the cities are, I wouldn't say teeming, but they're definitely youth in the area that enjoy some good old rollerblades. The GGs are basically a little street gang. Their main activity is graffiti. They value free expression of their thoughts, their ideas, and just enjoy kind of fucking shit up. There are other kind of rollerblade crews in Tokyo, but none as influential as the GGs. It starts off by introducing the GGs to a new member, Yo-Yo, and his signature catchphrase is, "Yo!" Yo-Yo joins up with the GGs, and he's basically accepted as one of their own without a doubt in the world. They introduce him to the current members, Corn, I call him Corn on the Cob, and then Roboy. Roboy is basically like the one who holds down the fort, because he kind of walks you, teaches you the ropes. In Jet Set Radio Future, spray painting it's really paramount to the entire game. If you don't spray paint, you don't make it past the first level. Once you kind of get the feel of what you're supposed to be doing in the game, you are kind of sent out on your first little mission. You're headed out to, I believe it's Dogenzaka Hill. So as soon as you get to Dogenzaka Hill, you kind of run up on this street. There's cars passing by, there's a few spray paint cans, and there's a little safe spot. It's basically you spray paint down on the ground, and you can only do this in certain areas. But I believe this is about where we're introduced to one of the most badass characters in the game, and it's DJ Professor K. Well, DJ Professor K runs a pirate radio station for anyone who values free expression. And if that's not bad enough, if that's not badass enough, it's basically like he's talking directly to you, the player. I forgot about the Goddess of the Streets. Goddess of the Streets is a statue that was stolen in Dogenzaka Hill. Basically what you want to do is go through and cover it with your own artwork. For Jet Set Radio Future, that's one of the main things, the main objectives of the game. Basically, when you enter a new area, you want to complete the graffiti task. Generally, once you graffiti out an entire map, you'll be presented with the next challenge. DJ Professor K, I believe, comes on and kind of totes about how Dogenzaka Hill has a punk. So you actually end up meeting up with the so-called punk, who turns out to be a guy named Beat. But you meet up with him and he kind of doesn't seem to respect you or the GGs or really anyone. I think the first thing he does is challenges you to a race. Now if you're as badass as I am, you'll beat Beat on the first go around. He actually invites himself to the GGs. After Beat joins up, he ends up heading back to the garage, but you're actually left to deal with a new threat, the police of Tokyo. They actually show up right after you finish facing off against Beat. They kind of barricade off the area that you're in with like an electric fence. Really the only way to defeat them is to knock them down and spray paint their backs. I didn't even explain what a motherfucking boostache is. if you've got 10 spray paint cans, you can do what is called a boost dash. It's basically, you're riding around on roller skates, but a boost dash utilizes not just roller skates, but utilizes your rocket-powered roller skates to boost the rockets and make you go faster. But once their backs are showing, once they're on the ground, you're free to spray paint them. I can't say that he actually dies, but once a police officer has been sprayed with spray paint, he dies. Once you spray down all of the officers, they kind of fuck off and you go about your business. The next place that's available for you to visit, and I'd say one of the best locations in the game. You're gonna add music to this video, right? Fuck yeah. Can you add, like, it's called The Concept of Love, fucking duh. You can add this right here? Or whatever?
If it's not copywritten, I will.
Okay. Well, on the street, on the street, on the street, on the street, the concept of love. Oh! I'll just add that in just in case. Once you get in there, you're kind of introduced to the fact that other gangs exist. And actually hear from DJ Professor K that the whole of Shibuya Terminal has been covered in graffiti, and that graffiti has a very specific art style. DJ Professor K, I think, describes it as gross. I'm a fan of the Poison Jam. You spray paint Shibuya Terminal, and Poison Jam actually shows up and meet up with, I want to say it's Combo. When I say I want to say it's Combo, I know it's Combo. So Combo kind of challenges you to a little task. Once he sees that you know what the fuck you're up to, Combo actually says, you know, the GGs sound like a pretty cool gig. I'm in. And I didn't mention Hayashi before, which may have been a mistake, but Hayashi is the lead of the police force. Hayashi's basically been out to get you from the very start. But at that note, I believe that's the point where we see Poison Jam come into play. Poison Jam actually rolls by and fucks off to Chuo Street, if I'm not mistaken. So once you kind of finish up spray painting up Chuo Street, you run into the police again. They say their signature catchphrase, "Youths have been spotted in the area." Youths on skates. And they bust out the motherfucking tanks for youths on skates. Are you serious? But then again, if youths were equipped with weapons like spray paint cans, I would send tanks at them too. All it takes to defeat a fucking tank is to spray paint it and then spray paint the person inside. And after Chuo Street, you go to, and I want to say, Rokakudai Heights. God damn, Rokakudai Heights. That is a good area because it's got kind of some lore about Mr. Rikaku Goji. It's kind of where his family came up. Honestly, I'd compare it to like the slums, really. Like, it's lots of small kind of shack type houses. Poison Jam's up to no good here as well. You kind of roll through the area, tag up their sick artwork. Once you do get their stuff taken care of, you come to kind of a stopping point where you can't really get any further without talking to Rith. She is sitting on top of looks like a train station in Rokakudai Heights, and she's got kind of a challenge for you in a similar manner to what Beat had, except instead of a head-to-head race, she kind of just fucks off and expects you to know where she's at. She kind of gives you the general direction of where she's going, but she just kind of disappears and you've got to find her. But once you do, she says, "Hey, I'm in. I'm joining the GGs." But once you do add her into the group, the gate to the train station opens and you can kind of get to the other half of the map. After we're finished covering up all of Poison Jam's ugly graffiti, the police show up again. You actually head down to 99th Street. 99th Street is honestly like the fucking Las Vegas of Tokyo. Once you get there, DJ Professor K kind of lets you know that 99th Street is ran by Rapid 99, the cool cat group. 99th Street actually has one of the coolest structures in the game. It's basically an enormous tower in the very center of 99th Street, and it's got a motherfucking dragon as like the tower. Rapid 99 shows up at the very top of the dragon. They challenge you to a game of flag battle, where basically a flag will appear randomly on the map, and the first person to get that flag scores a point. If you beat them, they're kind of telling you what's going on. They're telling you why you're moving to the next level. And I want to say, after 99th Street, we head over to Rukakudai Heights. No. Fuck you. I know the answer. It's Rukakudai Heights. You say no. Are you talking that it's not Rukakudai Heights, it's the underground sewage facility? Bullshit, because you have to go through Rukakudai Heights to get there. The first thing you do in the underground is get fucking trapped. Poison Jam's all on that shit. Are you recording me right now? Anyways, you fall into a little half pipe area that basically have no chance of getting out unless you meet up with Garum. He's really helpful as well because he introduces you to the fact that you can kind of do a little handstand type thing. It's what lets him let you up into Poison Jam's lair. He kind of drops down a giant girder for you to grind up. So you kind of realize there's a gate you need to get through, and I think you realize that because DJ Professor K tells you if you want to open that gate, you're going to have to activate all the switches. So anyways, once we spray paint all the switches, we open the gate, we get through, and we go not to the Tokyo Underground Sewage Facility, but you come up on this kind of like oddly ritualistic area. And you see Poison Jam, but you also see a new character that you haven't seen before, and that's motherfucking Cube. And she kind of basically tells you, hey, you'll never stop Poison Jam because we're the shit. At this point, basically running what is called a tag battle. And what that is you're aiming to run up behind the person that you're battling against and spray paint their back. After we tag all the Poison Jam members... Oh no! Yo-Yo was kidnapped! Motherfucker! And Cube ran the fuck away. Seriously? But also DJ Professor K mentioned something about a new group going down called the Noise Tanks. Because now we go through 99th Street to get to the motherfucking Skyscraper District and Faro Park. The Immortals in Faro Park are actually acting kind of strange. They're not acting like they generally would do. In the center of Faro Park, there is a few coffins lying on the ground. Oh, they're asleep, and they say, like, hey, motherfucker, you gotta go hit up Kibagaoka Hill and the other place. I don't know which one it is yet. Once you cover up the Immortals graffiti in Kibagaoka Hill, the cops step up their game. Basically like a manned drone, like a little spider drone. They're fighting kids on roller skates with giant robot drones. Once you spray paint the 3 cans onto the spider drone, and that's that. So, we roll up on Highway 0. once the immortals are awoken, you actually do a tag battle with them. And are we kidnapped? We kidnapped to go to the future side of the Rikaku Expo? Yo-Yo's bitch ass shows back up. He had been missing up until this point. He actually takes you into the stadium to play Death Ball, where basically it's like a race, except you don't want to get hit by the ball and you want to keep it away from the other team. So if you are able to keep the ball and I think hit the opponents with it 3 times, then you'll beat them. We end up playing 3 games of Death Ball. We play 1 game with the Doom Riders. We play a game with Rapid 99. Anyways, 2 out of 3 is not too bad. The police came in. I want to say, did they improved upon those spider crawler guys and made one that was better. It goes from 0 to 100 real quick. This is when all of the noise tanks start fucking spamming out of the sky, right? Because I honestly thought the game was glitching because there were just way more than it looks like there should have been. They're just falling out of the sky. It's Sky Dinosaurian Square. And this is actually one of the very coolest maps in the game because it's basically a theme park, a roller coaster. But that's going to be the last place you kind of face off with the noise tanks, knock them all down. Yeah, you're so right about Jazz. Holy shit. Jazz was the partner in Death Ball because that's when Cube reappears in Sky Dinosaurian Square with this is where you're paired up with Cube. Not with Cube. From Poison Gym, no? Me. And fucking throws something at Yo-Yo and malfunctions him. He had like a fucking cloaking device on this whole time. It was actually a fucking noise tank. After we find out that Yo-Yo was an imposter, and also subsequently that the real Yo-Yo's still fucking missing, this is actually when DJ Professor K does chime in and mentions the golden rhinos. I think there are 2, at least 2 that are mentioned. One of them has this like fucking Doc Ock arm that he like throws all over the place, and then like another one, just some bitch with a flamethrower. It's like maybe the biggest like indoor looking room in the game, and there are like stairs, like spiral staircases all over the place, like in the corner looking areas. And Yo-Yo was in a cage at like the very top of one, and it was pitch to get to. But before you can even get close to him, you have to defuse all the bombs. Wasn't Yo-Yo gonna get blown up too? First, I think they made you find all of the switches, and then they're like, oh yeah, by the way, there's all these other switches too, and it was like a whole second set of switches, and you thought you were finished. Anyways, bombs are taken care of. The residential district's not gonna blow up. Yo-Yo's not gonna blow up. Where do we go from here? This is where DJ Professor K gets on the radio, says, hey, what's up guys? I'm being kidnapped. He's taken to the skyscraper district. They've got a freaking train. It's a train that drives on 2 tracks, and it has like a weapon attached to the back that just changes to whichever track it wants to. You kind of just jump back and forth between the tracks, and you grind up it and you spray paint it. DJ Professor K trapped inside of a giant transformer robot with none other than the big man himself, Rikaku Goji. And in the middle of that broadcast, Rikaku Goji actually takes it over. Basically tells everyone, the Chi-Chis are fucked. free expression is fucked, and he starts playing his own radio station. And honestly, kind of cool. Not gonna lie. So you show up to Shibuya Terminal, see Big Ol' Robot Boy, and you're confronted by 3 Zero Beats. Once you actually defeat Zero Beat, all of a sudden, you get sucked into like an alternate dimension inside of Rukaku Goji's robot. You get teleported into this weird ass realm, basically like a rollerblading parkour. Ooh, excuse me. So whenever you're running through the thing, there's lots of spots where if you don't jump at right this exact moment, you're gonna have to restart the puzzle basically from the beginning. But once you get to the top, there's a nice little arena looking platform where I believe you face off with Rukaku Goji, you'll beat him, and completed the game of Jet Set Radio Future.
So, if you had to give advice to someone who's never played Jet Set Radio before, what one advice would you give them?
Good question. Use your map. Best advice, use your map.